Alright, it's April 26th, and we've made some more progress in the garden. You see these buckets on my wall here. There's 10 of them. What I've actually got planted in there is potatoes. Saw some videos on YouTube of how to do potatoes in a bucket, so I thought I'd give them a try. I got 10 buckets going right here. And then I have a couple of barrels in the garden that I'm going to do a slightly different way. The garden has changed since last. Everything is covered in plastic because we're having some cold weather. The lows are getting down to 34, 35-ish. So we're just trying to protect what we can. See, the onions are doing pretty well. Next year we're going to try and overwinter them. And I saw some in town the other day that were just fantastic looking. And we'll be ready a whole bunch earlier than ours will. So we'll give that a try next year and see how that goes. I've stolen a barrel from Melanie. That was in the front, and I'm going to use this for herbs. We've got rosemary, parsley, Greek oregano, and thyme in there. And I'd like to come out here and just touch this rosemary a little bit every time I come out, and you can just smell it the entire time we're out here. I'm just really looking forward to using that. So we've actually planted 2 sets of 2 rows, or 4 total rows of radishes. You see the 2 on the left were the first ones we planted, and it was a little bit colder. And these 2 on the right were the ones we planted about 10 days later. And they've already surpassed the ones that were on the right. So pretty interesting, the different, I imagine it was a warmer germination temperature that really helped them get kick-started. So kind of a little lesson learned there maybe. What we have here is our lettuce bed. Let's see if we can get a decent picture of what we got going on here. This is our spinach in that row. We have a mixed salad bowl kind of row here, and then a Bibb and a black-seeded Simpson. And then we've already planted the next 4 rows, and I actually saw 1 sprout in that row yesterday. So the lettuce looks to be on track. So everything is covered. We still have in this first one here broccoli, cauliflower, and basil, which we have shoots from now too, or sprouts. This was Swiss chard, but I decided it wasn't getting enough sun, and I think maybe it wasn't going to do quite as well as I wanted to there, so I moved it to a different bed. What else have I done? In this bed up here, we still have the carrots and beets at the other end, and we've got sprouts from each one. We have some carrot sprouts coming up, and then the beets are also coming up. And this one too is another example that we ended up having a whole lot more sprouts in the second, or the third and fourth rows ended up coming up faster than the ones from the first and second row, and I think the same thing is true because of the temperature. So again, lesson learned. We'll see how it goes. I finally planted my strawberries. I did a whole row, or a whole bed of them, 24 plants, and these are ever-bearing sequoia. And what I'm hoping is that we'll get a big crop in June, and then we'll get a second crop later in the summer. I don't want them to be spread out, so I have to pick 1 and 2 strawberries all the time. And the other thing is I don't want to have bird netting on it all the time. I'll rig up something when they're getting ripe, but we'll see how that goes too. Tomatoes. I've done everything I can, and we're hoping to keep them alive. We'll see what happens. So far, so good. I already looked at them this morning, and they look very good. Same thing here, peppers. I already checked them, and they look good this morning too. So in here we have the Swiss cheddar, which looks a whole lot better in here. That one, I don't know if that's going to make it or not. It's got a couple of broken stems on it, but I just kind of, I'm hoping, I guess. But anyway, this Swiss chard looks tons better than what it was before. And the cauliflower looks really good too, compared to what it did before. So it looks like it's standing and growing. I see new leaves, so we'll see if that goes. I've been busy. I planted cucumbers back here, and we're going to trellis them. I have the trellises up, and today I'll probably put the netting on. I put the netting on one, but it's not really a fun task, so I've been kind of putting it off. In this bed, we've planted winter squash, and this one we've planted summer squash. And these are the barrels I was talking about for the potatoes. There's a couple of sprouts in there already. What I intend to do is put dirt in around until the plants are high and the dirt comes up to the top, and then I'm going to try and put another section on, like that. And I have a third section of the barrel too, so we'll see how that works out. I'm hopeful. Okay, so that's basically a tour of where we're at now. And you can see it's snowing actually. Isn't that nice? So there's basically the entire yard. Potato buckets on the wall. And the garden with the shed. Okay, that's it for now. We'll try another one. Thanks.